Let's watch this video.
Nigeria, former giant of Africa, a nation once celebrated as the powerhouse of the continent, brimming with resources, population, and promise. Picture this: massive warships slicing through the waves, their decks lined with resolute sailors under the proud green-white-green flag. Naval vessels, over 150 strong, ranked as Africa's strongest fleet, with modern frigates and patrol boats dominating maritime security. Then the skies roar. Fighter jets, attack helicopters, transport aircraft, 159 units total in the military fleet. Rows of heavy-lift C-130s and similar platforms on vast runways, paratroopers leaping from planes with canopies blooming in national colors, pilots gripping controls in cockpit high above the clouds, troops boarding aircraft with precision, the Air Force modernizing steadily. Ground forces, hundreds of thousands of active personnel, one of Africa's largest armies, backed by reserves and ongoing investments in equipment and training. These scenes evoke a military that should command respect, deter threats, and safeguard every citizen, from bustling cities to remote villages. On paper, Nigeria ranks 33rd globally in overall military strength in 2026, according to Global Firepower, 3rd in Africa behind Egypt and Algeria, with a power index score of 0.6097, reflecting raw manpower, expanding arsenals, and strategic positioning. Yet, the painful truth shatters the illusion. Despite this visible might, despite the ships patrolling waters, jets soaring overhead, soldiers ready for action, Nigeria grapples with unrelenting chaos on home soil. Insurgency drags on in the northeast, with Boko Haram remnants and ISWAP splinter groups launching deadly strikes. Banditry in the northwest rages like wildfire, villages raided, cattle rustled, mass kidnappings funding endless violence, schools, churches, travelers targeted in ransom epidemics that terrorize communities and paralyze economies. Kidnappings surge, with over 400 reported in short waves across the north in late 2025 alone, and projections warning of worsening trends into 2026. Killings mount, displacements reach millions, and insecurity fueled by banditry, farmer-herder clashes, separatist tensions in the southeast, and piracy in southern waters continues to claim thousands of lives annually, leaving ordinary Nigerians in constant fear. How does a nation with such formidable assets fail so spectacularly to protect its people? The rot runs deep. Corruption at the highest levels devours the military strength. Defense budgets, trillions of naira over the years, vanish into ghost contracts, inflated procurement, and private pockets. Procurement fraud has siphoned away fortunes, with scandals exposing padded projects and misappropriated security votes. In the 2025 budget, 6.93 trillion naira worth of questionable insertions and projects were flagged by groups like Budget, including absurdly inflated costs for street lights and boreholes, funds that could have equipped troops but instead fueled waste. The 2026 budget proposal faces similar scrutiny, with over 2 trillion naira in capital projects across key MDAs, showing red flags linked to potential corruption and implementation risks. Ongoing probes and recoveries by agencies like the ICPC, 37.44 billion naira and millions in dollars seized in 2025, barely scratch the surface. High-profile cases in recent years highlight the pattern. Former officials like Abubakar Malami, SAN, facing money laundering allegations involving billions, Godwin Emefiele in multiple trials for financial misconduct and procurement violations, Yaya Bello in ongoing corruption probes, and even broader defense-related fraud echoing past scandals where trillions were lost to inefficiencies and embezzlement. As new vessels and aircraft arrive, troops often face shortages in fuel, ammunition, intelligence support, and welfare because funds meant for the front lines disappear. Anti-corruption efforts expose budgetary padding, diverted allocations, and questionable billions, but systemic leaks persist. These corrupt leaders and insiders, shielded by influence, betray the brave men and women in uniform, overstretching forces across endless fronts with poor coordination, low morale, and delayed logistics. The result? A military that parades impressively but struggles to deliver decisive victories against fragmented forest-hiding threats. Nigeria doesn't need more hardware alone. It needs one resolute man, a leader of iron integrity, unyielding will, and absolute intolerance for graft to reclaim the glory of our armed forces. Envision that leader launching ruthless audits to recover stolen billions and redirect them to equip troops properly, purging corruption from command to contractor, no exceptions, no sacred cows, reforming intelligence, logistics, and joint operations for swift, overwhelming responses, tackling root causes, poverty, unemployment, ungoverned spaces that breed recruits for bandits and terrorists, unleashing the full potential of these assets, not as hollow symbols, but as instruments of real security, peace, and national pride. Until that one bold, incorruptible leader steps forward, the gap between Nigeria's military potential and the daily suffering of its people remains a heartbreaking national failure. We were once the giant. We can be again. Our soldiers deserve victory. Our citizens deserve safety. The time for excuses is over. Nigeria demands the leader who will make it happen.